The new year is quickly approaching, and with it come New Year's resolutions. I know, sorry to bring this back up for all of you who made them last year and didn't follow them, but have you got one or two? How about making more money? How about that resolution, Jeff Reeves? Let's bring him in. He's InvestorPlace.com's editor. He's taken a look at some of the most popular resolutions. Found some portfolio plays, have you, to go with them? How did you come up with these?
Well, you know, I was kind of looking at ways to make more money in the new year. That's what I do. And I've never really been one for New Year's resolutions. I mean, I like my bourbon. I like my ice cream, sometimes in the same sitting, both of them at the same time. So, you know, you can make money on these trades, and maybe you can feel better about the fact that you're helping other people with their resolutions. I mean, the lies we tell ourselves, you know, if you want to eat more ice cream, then go ahead and just buy some of these stocks. You can feel better about it.
Right. So. There's spend less, but I like the flip side of that, which is make more money, at least on certain stock picks that you have come up with, which I think is very clever. A pick for each resolution, and we can start with one of the most obvious resolutions, and that is to improve our diet and to eat more healthfully. And what's your pick for that?
Well, I think that, you know, there's a lot of fad diets and stuff like that out there, but, you know, if you think about health food in general, just the secular trend of people eating stuff that's more organic, it's better for them, they want premium stuff, especially if they're eating out less. In these tough economic times, people do that. Whole Foods is kind of the natural play for me. It's got a 5-year growth rate of 20%. Its earnings and revenue are up year over year, all the way back through the recession. So this is a company that hasn't just weathered the recent downturn in earnings. It's also done very, very well in the past several years, even when others haven't. And when you look at grocery stores in general, their margins are very thin. But Whole Foods actually has pretty hefty margins because it has prepared food. It's got some premium products. So, you know, if you want to play that angle, I think this is probably the best of the bunch.
And weren't they just saying that they were able to lower a few of their items in price and have still managed to keep those margins healthy?
Yeah, that's what happens when, I mean, we've seen it with Apple. When you're a top dog in the margins business, I mean, it really helps. Even if you shave just a little bit off, you're still head and shoulders above the competitors, a company like a Safeway or a Kroger.
Okay, so. The number 2 most popular resolution has got to be fitness. Get more fit, work out more. What's your pick for that one?
Again, I like the whole theory of growth here, especially in these times where there aren't that many growthy plays, and Under Armour is a good one. Actually, your reporter who just did the breaking news on Nike, maybe if I had Nike, I'd have a nice little news peg here. But I really like Under Armour because it's been able to erode some of that market share that Nike has, not just in kind of the premium performance apparel stuff for athletes. I'm here in the Washington, D.C. area. It's right up the road in Baltimore, and Under Armour's done a really good job of kind of diversifying into regular casual apparel, polos, stuff like that. I think it's a big brand. Again, the growth speaks for itself, a 20% growth rate. Earnings and revenue continue to go up year over year, so I really like the momentum behind that stock.
New year, some people look for a new job. What's your new jobs out there pick?
Well, I think LinkedIn is one of the few stories we've seen from the IPO market in the last couple of years. It's actually legit. I mean, it doubled on its first day of trading almost, and it's stuck there. It hasn't evaporated like some of those other stocks that we've talked about, like Groupon and Facebook and Zynga. So this is a legit stock, and that's because its customers are real, too. This is how people look for jobs. I mean, people don't look on Hot Jobs anymore to get stuff. I mean, Hot Jobs killed classified, but I think LinkedIn is kind of the way of the future, and I think that companies like Monster and Hot Jobs should look out, or Hot Jobs run by Yahoo should look out.
Hot Jobs killed classifieds. It's true. And then, of course...
It did. I'm an old newspaper guy.
But again, you know, and it's true, Jeff, because the minute something is hot, that like we always think of Palm Pilot, where is that now? It was the hottest thing, and now it's not, hardly even in existence, I think. And taking more vacations, using your vacation days in the new year.
Yeah, and I love Priceline. I mean, I think these online travel stocks, that's the way people book travel, consumers, businesses, whether it's hotels, rental cars. And the thing that I really like about Priceline is, again, you got this organic growth story there. Year over year, profits, revenue continue to move up. But it's not just this growth story that they have. The positioning is really good for consumers right now. Everybody wants a deal. They allow people to shop around. They got a great spokesperson in William Shatner.
And Expedia, too, though, right?
Yeah, and Expedia. I mean, these are kind of two sides of the same coin. I mean, they're both a little bit frothy. I have to admit, like with Whole Foods, with Under Armour, some of these growthy plays are a little frothy on the PE side, especially Expedia, which has had a huge run this year.
Right.
But, I mean, if you look at the international growth story of these guys, it's not just domestic. I think Priceline is in something like 99 countries right now. So you shouldn't just look to, you know, what your friends and neighbors are doing and how they book travel. Let's face it, we all book online. I mean, there's also big growth abroad for these companies, and I think there's some good momentum there for people to tap into.
We loved the piece you did. That's why we brought you on. But he's got a whole bunch more. We know those aren't the only resolutions, so go on our Facebook.com/AfterTheBell page, and we've got the rest of Jeff Reeves' picks for the New Year's resolutions. Jeff Reeves, InvestorPlace.com. He's the editor. Thanks so much.
Great to be here.
David, over to you.
Well, the clock is ticking away to these budget cuts and big tax hikes for everybody. Can Congress and the White House come to some kind of an agreement in order to save us in time? Up next, the